Hello everyone, my name is Shreyash and today we will be explaining our lab 5 oil well analysis and visualization. This would be part 2. In part 1 we had scraped some data from the PDF, and in this section we would be mostly interested in the location of the oil wells that we have extracted in our part 1. So in part 2, where we are focusing on the location, we will be using Apache server. And in Apache server, you can see here it's active and running in our Ubuntu system. And to install this, we have followed this official guidelines, where we have installed Apache and created our own website. And we have kept ourselves to the default settings, where we will be using gci.example.com as our default website, and we will be making changes to the index.html file to show the locations of the oil wells that we have extracted. So, so this was how we started our Apache web server. And then to show you the demo, here we have done all the basic steps which was required to start our maps on the web server. And to show you the demo, I would like reload the website. So, so this is gci.example.com. If I would reload this, make it full screen. So these are the locations, the latitude and longitude locations that we have collected. And if you would zoom in, most of the locations are having similar degrees and minutes. It's the seconds which would like make difference. And if you would click any one of them, you would see the information popping up right away in whichever field you would click the information like the wheel name, their API number, their well status, their date of simulation, their type, oil produce, gas produce. So if you can see, these are the parameters that we have collected in our part 1 of this assignment. And this we will be showing this with their location on the map. So to explain how we perform all of the steps to reach here, we will be following some steps which Kritika will explain.
So in our previous part, we had gathered the latitude and longitude information, which was in degrees, minutes, and seconds format. I'm going to show you that CSV file. Yeah. So next is that we have to convert that into decimal format. So for that, we have written the code here below. So here we are taking the input as the CSV file in which the latitude and longitude was in the DMS format, and then we are extracting the specific columns that we require and passing it to a function that is DMS underscore to underscore decimal. This is the function we are passing, which is using regular expressions and converting it to into a decimal format, and we are saving it to into a new CSV file that is as 5 part 2 underscore latitude longitude underscore decimal dot CSV file. This is a new CSV file which we will be using. Next is this CSV file. We are going to store it in our MySQL database, and we have written the code for that. So here we are first. Okay, I'll show you now in this here. Converse.py, this is the code that we have written. No, CSV underscore dot py is the code that we have written to store the CSV file in our database. So before that, we will pre-process the data. Like we will convert it into the correct data and format and remove the non values, erase them. And later we're going to connect it to MySQL. So in case if there is no database created, we're going to create that with the name of well underscore data underscore db and create a table, and these are the columns in our table. So we will save the data, that is CSV file in our database by using this code that we have written.
So to show the database on our one system, uh, we will log into MySQL. So we will be using well data underscore database and to show the tables. So in the part one of the assignment, we created well data, and now we are creating just another addition to that well data underscore new. This in this data, we will be converting the latitude and longitude in DNS format to decimal format, and we are storing it back to new data. So to show this new uh, table, you can see we will be having the same information that we had last time, but this time we have added new columns like latitude decimal, longitude decimal, and this will help us to plot our graph in the machine. So that's what our next steps will be. Uh, so after creating this, we want that when we are using leaflet map to display our data of oil wells. And to use leaflet maps, we need to convert our data into JSON format. So to convert those into JSON format, we will be using a Python script called CSV to JSON. It looks, yeah, so this is the CSV to JSON file. Here we are connecting our MySQL database again to get the data, which we were storing it up in our well data underscore new table. And from this, we will be fetching the data and we will be getting the important information that we want to store. So one of the feature that was required in the map was if we click one of the location, it would like pop up some additional information. So that additional information we will be fetching from our database. You can see here these are the name of the column that we are fetching from our database. And from them, we will be storing it to our JSON format. I have named the file as map.json.js. You will see the map JSON. It looks something like this. So it has a variable wells data, and we will be using this JSON file to create our HTML file, which will help us to visualize the data. And the HTML file will be explained by data.
So as this is the default HTML file and we were installing the Apache, so in order to visualize the well data, we have to modify the index.html file. So we are here, we are adding the viewport for the additional interactivity and better readability of the pop-ups here. And then we named it as oil wells visualization. And we are also linking the external leaflet library to integrate maps with our visualization. So after integrating leaflet library of popular JavaScript library to have interactive visualization of the maps, we are initializing the map JSON.js file, which is again a JavaScript file which contains all the data from the CSV or like from the database that we have stored of all the oil well data. And after including the map.json.js JavaScript file into the HTML. It first we initializing the map with the coordinates, the longitude and the longitude coordinates. So it initially sets up the base layer and center it around the general well area. And then the second step is to marker details, like adding the marker details to each of the pop-up window that happens to be on the visualization website. And we are using wells data variable, which is in the map json.js. And for each of the entry in that, it iterates and it fetches the API, well name, well status, date stimulated, and all the additional fields that we have extracted from the part one of the assignment. And in this way, we are able to visualize the data interactively. And this is done with the help of Apache and using Leaflet library of JavaScript for the interactive visualization of the maps and the pop-ups. Thank you.
Thank you.